Well, yep. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing this morning? I know it's Freestyle Friday. Hope you guys are enjoying your Friday. Of course, as we do our due diligence today, uh, as we get started, would like to know if there's anyone new who has joined us on our Atomy Momentum morning call or Momentum morning. If they would love to unmute themselves and let us know uh, who who invited you, where you calling in from. We would love to hear. You could go ahead unmute yourself. So I'll give a couple of minutes, and then we'll go ahead and uh, continue our agenda that CJ has for us this morning. So of course, you guys know it's Freestyle Friday. So do we have anyone that's new to Momentum Morning that would love to let us know who you are and who invited you to the call? If you're not comfortable unmuting and let us know, you could always put it in the chat and we can always call it out as well. You have a lot of noise in your background. So, um, all right. So if there's no one new to Momentum Morning, you can go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and turn the stage back to CJ and I'll let him go ahead and if you want to go ahead, CJ, on mute and you can take the stage.
Hey, thank you, Nick. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear, sir.
Yes,
It's
sir.
all yours.
Nick, I want to publicly acknowledge you as that brother from the other mother. Truly, your masterful servant leadership, Nick. I really want to say thanks to you. I appreciate you, and I'm sure that the rest of us we do. I want to thank the leaders on the call this morning. I want to acknowledge um, Royal Master Florence Lindor. Thank you for adding your value and your touch and your shine, Florence, to Momentum Mornings. We are sincere about cherishing the spirit, creating the vision. Over here, we are following the faith. Over here, we serve in humility. And we say what we mean, and we mean what we say. Words. We don't just speak words, we mean what we say. Just want to say to everyone, be careful of the words you speak. Speak life to yourself. Speak life to those around you. If you can speak something positive, something uplifting, something edifying, don't speak. Speak wellness into your life, wholeness. This is a year of change. Let's change our language. Let's change the momentum. And for those of us who are sitting on the sideline, it's time to get up and become a true, bona fide crusader. We have a product called Hemohim in the Atomy Toolkit. This great product is being kept a secret. I tell you this, and again I swear that I am going to be the flag bearer. And Momentum Mornings is going to be the access point to bring the message and the story of Hemohim to this country. Over 366 million strong in this country. Not even 1% of the country knows about Atomy, and more so about Hemohim. That's not good. And that is about to change. I am also saying this morning that as long as the Momentum Morning experience is here, each and every morning we will say something about Hemohim. Anyone who might be on the call for the first time, they will never be able to say they never heard about Hemohim. With that said, let's feature our Hemohim Day standalone, most or the best selling herbal supplement, functional food in the world. Every 7 seconds, someone is taking Hemohim.
Hi. Today we're going to talk about Hemohim, the U.S. patents that it holds, and go through some studies on the health benefits. Hemohim can benefit people's health in a variety of ways, as you can see here, and the studies that we'll look at a little bit later will talk about many of these. Hemohim was developed by the South Korean government to aid the immune systems and general health of their nuclear scientists who are being exposed to a lot of radiation. Radiation is one of the things that can have a very detrimental effect on your immune system. And these are the proprietary ingredients that Hemohim is made up of. And what these ingredients do is they help to activate natural killer or NK cells. These are the cells that go out and directly destroy the harmful cells and pathogens in the body. It activates your other immune cells and creates cytokine, which helps regulate the immune response. There's a list of patents here from different countries in the world, but if you take a look at the one on the bottom there for the USA and that number and punch it into the Patent Office website, you will be able to pull up all the patent information about Hemohim as well as the what it's used for. And there's some highlights of them here just displayed that you can dig into at the Patent Office itself. But the main things here to look at here are how it helps with the immune system. It activates the B cells. These are the white blood cells and produce proteins called antibodies that bind selectively to antigens. Finally, Hemohim also activates your T cells, another white blood cell. These ones recognize antigens and substances that prompt an immune response.
Inside all of us lurks a serial killer. A killer whose primary function is to kill and then kill again. These are cytotoxic T cells, a specialized member of our white blood cells. They patrol our bodies, identifying and destroying virally infected and cancer cells, and they do so with remarkable precision and efficiency. There are about 5 million T cells in a teaspoon of our blood, engaged in the ferocious and unrelenting battle to keep us healthy. These amorphous blobs move around quite rapidly, pushing out their leading edge and probing their environment as they go. When a cytotoxic T cell finds a cancer cell, membrane protrusions rapidly explore the surface of the cell, checking for the telltale signs of cancer. They kill their targets using poisonous proteins visible here in red. These cytotoxic granules move down special pathways in the cell called microtubules to the interface between the T cell and the cancer cell. The T cell punctures the surface of the cancer cell and delivers its deadly cytotoxins. This is very important in our bodies, where cells are packed together, as it focuses the lethal hit on the target and minimizes collateral damage to the neighboring healthy cells. The fate of the cancer cell is sealed. The T cell then moves on, hungry to find another victim.
Now, if you go to the National Library of Medicine, located at pubmed.gov, the address is located in the upper left. Type in the word Hemohim. There will be 16 results of different studies that have been done on Hemohim on a variety of things that we're all going to go through here in a moment. Now, I'm going to give a quick summary of each of the studies, but feel free to pause the screen if you want to read a little bit more information, or if you really want to get a lot of information, this is where you're going to want to go. So with that, let's take a look at the first study here briefly. This is a study done that shows the potential to treat pulmonary inflammatory diseases such as COPD. These are things that are becoming more and more prevalent in society. Usually they require people to have like a CPAP machine and other medications to help them breathe properly. Another one is a study on how it can mediate dendritic cells. This helps with your immune response. Another cell, again, that modulates immune cell activity and cytokine secretion. So again, that's helping to boost the immune system's effectiveness. An anti-inflammatory effect. This affects a lot of different types of inflammation that might occur throughout the body. That's pretty prevalent. Is a result of allergies, diseases, bad diets, things like that. Radiotherapy, chemotherapy, these types of radiation treatments that are used on cancer patients. So just like those South Korean scientists, even though they're treating cancer, it's still it's harmful to the immune system in general. So anything that can help benefit and help sustain the immune system for treatments like these is great. For diabetics, when you think about the pancreatic beta cells, that's what that funny B means, is beta. It's been shown to have the potential to lower glucose and modulate the immune agents there. When we talk about chemotherapy and the anti-tumor effects of what chemotherapy can do, it can also help be beneficial to that and enhance that efficiency. If you or know somebody that has gastritis or suffers from gastric ulcers, which are very painful, HemoHim has been shown to be a potential candidate to treat that. As we age, as mammals age, just like these mice here, the immune system, you have concern about that to dig into those details. Intestinal injury can occur following irradiation. So again, this is another, usually you're going to encounter this these days with chemotherapy and radiotherapy. So, anything that can help reduce that intestinal injury helps with the digestive system as a result. Allergic airway inflammation, another one very prevalent with people who have allergies, asthma, especially asthma triggered by allergies. That's all going to cause inflammation within your airways. Makes it difficult to breathe. This one here is going to look at the immune response and how it's going to be regulated better by the use of HemoHim. Another study, this one's on anti-obesity agent and being able to have some treatment in obesity there. That would be a good study to take a look at if that interests you. And finally, another one here where it's beneficial for anti-cancer treatments and to help with reducing adverse effects of those treatments. So definitely another one to take a look at if that interests you as well. So HemoHim itself is only available to the general public through the Atomy online store. There might be some places that are selling it at a marked up price, but the issue with that is it's just resellers and they may not even have the general product or the genuine product, and they also may not support their sales as Atomy will. So the easiest way to get to Atomy is to get a sponsorship for people like us. There's our contact information up there. We can help you get registered with the free account. That then allows you to
Okay. Like I said, if we should happen to invite a guest, a friend, coming on the call for the first time, if someone should come on the call, first experience, they will never leave the call and not hear about HemoHim. We play the tape, the video of the company, a great company. And we also play the video, something that tells the story of HemoHim. I keep telling the stories sell, facts tell, that the real story behind Atomy is that the chairman was about to die. He's in the hospital. And someone introduced him to Hemohim. He had his family at his bedside. He was going through his will with his family. Yes, he had gotten to that stage. Liver. Thank God we have Hemohim, and we have the radioli milk thistle, for those who don't know. That is from God's own pharmacy, the milk thistle. And of course, the great noni, superfood. Dr. Jungla and the chairman got together, collaborated, and they have done the best that, and all have not done it. They have introduced the best noni out there on the market. Fermentation, 1,440 hours of fermentation. Superfood noni. They call Dr. Jungla the Dr. Noni. So, it's time for some testimonials. Freedom Friday, Freestyle Friday. Then after that, we have a little something before we go. We believe that financial wellness is a part of the wellness story. We have come to the end of the month. How many of us have gone through the checklist? Our detoxing, our financial planning, our basically just that checklist, the things that we need to be doing annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily. I put a checklist together some 2-3 weeks ago, and I have been inviting the family to just go through, grab it, and just go through it. Have you taken your Hemohim today? So we go through what we do first thing in the morning, what we do daily, our exercise, hydration, go right through. We do our detoxing. We need to do that. We need to fast. And there are some things that we need to pay attention to. Yes. Have you done your annual screening, your checkup? All you guys, your prostate screening. Thank God, whether you do it or whether you don't, proactively, you need your Hemohim, your fermented noni. And the list goes on and on and on. So let's take a quick minute and let's talk about our Hemohim or any other testimonial this morning. Let's have family time just in time. Testimonies, stories to tell.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning,
Good morning,
CJ.
Larry.
Hi, Nick.
Good morning.
Good morning. I don't have a testimony per se, or shall I say I have many testimonies, but you've all heard it. And I believe that we should absolutely 100%, in addition to taking the Hemohim, the noni, I'm not taking the noni really the way I'm taking the Hemohim, not yet, but I'm taking the supplements. I am definitely taking the Hemohim. In addition to that, we need to really detox our homes with the Atomy products. Miss Carol was on the call last night, and she was at it again, and I just love the way she expressed it, that after they said all things about the vitamins, the Hemohim and everything, she said, you need to detox your homes with the
Right.
Atomy products.
Mm-hmm.
I love it because I'm a believer in detoxing the home because of my own experience with a furniture polish that made me sick. And I'm talking about 20 years ago. So I was a lot younger. And I thank God that that happened then because it opened my eyes to start researching and I find out that these people are slowly but surely poisoning us. So yes, I am so encouraged by the Atomy products. because again, seriously, I have not dealt with any company that has all of the products, including products for our homes, as Atomy has. I would also like to just say quickly a word about the video that we had this morning, the power of of our words.
Yes.
I love these speakers because all of them, if you listen to them clearly, if you listen to them carefully, everything that they're teaching is all from the Word of God. Proverbs 18:20 talks about the power of the death and life of in the power of the tongue.
Yes.
And when I first experienced this truth about how powerful our words are, it did a lot for me because I started understanding that, oh, okay, you know what? You can actually speak to your body. You can command your organs. You can, that's what I do on a daily basis. You can speak to your body. You command your body. You command your organs. You thank God for your heart that's beating with the rhythm of life, and you speak to your immune system. You speak to your all of anything that you can think of. If I have something going on with me, I start just beating it up with the word. I just start saying to the devil, no, that is not coming here. Coronavirus time, I was saying you are not coming here. This is a temple of the Holy Spirit. You are not going to attack my body. So yeah, it's definitely power in our words. And I remember reading a book a long time ago. I don't know what I did with that book, but it was an amazing book that was speaking about the poison of the smallest member of the body, and it is the tongue. So yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. It was empowering. And the gentleman that could not speak, but he kept practicing and he kept practicing until he was able to speak, and now he's talking to us about words. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
I thought that was amazing. So thank you for allowing me to share. And OCJ, going back to your weekly, daily activities that we have to do. Yeah, I actually have been doing the water and lemon. I don't know for how long. That has been my
Wonderful.
yeah, and it helps. It does help. If you guys would like to join us, my church, we do fasting every end of the month for a week. From 7 to 7, we fast. And so what I find easy, shall I say, or doable with fasting is when you do it with a church, because they guide you. They give you scriptures that you can read when you start struggling a little bit, with the hunger start coming to you. You start doing certain things, and then it encourages you. And I think as a body that we do the fast, we encourage each other in crucifying the flesh and say, no, we are not eating. We are not eating. We need to hear what thus say the Lord. So if you'd like to join us, you are more than welcome to. We're doing this fast every month from the 26th of the month to the end of the month. 5 days, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Thank you, guys. Blessings.
Thanks for sharing, Valerie. Just on the note of fasting, the folks who are into the microbiome and stomach health and probiotics, it is recommended to bring your body to optimum functioning, to fight off diseases and to stay up there. You should choose one day out of every week. You choose that day and you do a fast. Every week, there's a day in each week that you should dedicate to fasting. And that will be from dinner time to dinner time or breakfast to breakfast. that 24 hours, allow the system to reset. It's amazing how doing that all by itself can rid the body of all kind of ailments. Yes. Okay, so any more stories? Stories sell. Facts tell.
Yes, I have.
Story time.
Yes,
Come on, let's
yes,
go.
I have. I have one. I
Okay.
about 4 or 5 years, my left index finger would not get well. Would not get well, and what would happen was that it would pulse up.
Mm.
Sorry about that. Phone keep going. It would pulse up. It wouldn't get well at all. So the Atomy Green Propolis spray. I know you're supposed to use it to spray, to freshen up your breath and everything and keep that going. But the thing is I've heard people say, put toothpaste on it and
Mm.
it would help. But the toothpaste would did a little, but then it would kind of go away. So after hearing someone talk about the propolis, what I did on my index finger, because what it does, it would pulse up so bad that I would have to take a needle to break open the pulse in order for it to come out. And this thing, I've been to a doctor. They had already given me that. Now, mind you, this has been going on for 5 years. And
Mm.
they would give me stuff to put on my hand to try to get this thing to heal. At the doctor's office one day, he asked me what was wrong. And I figured, hey, you're the doctor, tell me what's wrong and how do I fix it? And nobody had an answer. But I
Mm.
just so happened to take some propolis. I spray it in my mouth day, evening, afternoon. I just happened to spray some on my finger. Okay, let's see
Kidding
what
me.
this stuff here does. And I've been doing this for about 4 weeks now. And my finger is completely rid of all the pulsy stuff that was coming out of it. And I took a
Yes,
picture,
right.
I took a before picture and I took an after picture because I just wanted to make sure that things was going right. But the propolis to me is a multi thing too. Besides just spraying it in your mouth, I sprayed it on my finger, and my finger is doing fantastic right now.
Mm.
So that was what I had on that one. All right.
Thanks for sharing that one. I keep hearing some great things about that propolis spray, and that was just one more to add to the list of amazing things. I hear amazing things about the Manuka honey. It's amazing. We have some real wonderful products, all plant based. Are there any more stories this morning? That was a great one,
Yes, Nick,
Nathan. Thank you.
ECJ, I'll quickly share what I heard yesterday on the call, and maybe Nick can help me because I missed some of the stories that they were telling about a dog. But one that I heard clearly was that I was like, wow, this is crazy. The dishwashing liquid,
Yes.
please use it to shampoo your dogs or your cat. For those who have doggies, Dr. Dion was actually telling us about that she washes her dog with the dishwashing liquid. I never thought of it. Uh,
Mm.
they also mentioned the Manuka honey and the toothpaste and the propolis spray in if you have a dog that has maybe that was injured, you can use those products on the dog.
Yes.
So Pastor
Everything.
said, wow, I did not realize that we're now going to start talking about our dogs, but it was a heated conversation and I really enjoyed it. So there you go.
Thank you, Valerie. Indeed. Very interesting. Yes.
These products have multiple functions. It's just
Yes.
amazing. And by tuning
Functional.
in the various calls, we hear from people what they use the products, how they use the products, etc. So it really does benefit us to get on the Zooms as much as we can.
Of course. Okay. So we're almost 20 minutes or so to 11. I want to give us a little treat this morning. We are here to take care of our financial side of life. It's a part of wellness. We detox the homes. We detox the cars. We take care of our nutrition. Let's take care of our finances as well. You know, the financial burden, the financial strain, it does something to the mind, makes us all jittery and tense and depressed. So, someone saying something? Okay. So, as a treat this morning, for those of us who are planning to take care of wills and trusts, let's do a little bit of estate planning this morning. Let's talk about it as we get ready to close out the month of January, as we get ready to move into February. We really ought to do a little bit of estate planning. We need to do a little bit of financial wellness planning, a little financial checkup. It's very important. Let's do this.
Are you looking to sell your house as is without the hassle of costly repairs or...
Hey there, I'm estate planning attorney Paul Rablais, and in this video, I'm going to explain in about 20 minutes estate planning from start to finish. So what prompted this video was I gave a presentation today. I went to a credit union. They asked me to come speak to all of their vice presidents and above, and I did, and I sat in the big conference room with all the vice presidents, and I had 30 minutes, and I said, guys, for 20 minutes, I'm going to tell you as much as I can about estate planning. I'm going to throw in some examples. I'm going to use a hypothetical couple, and then we'll have some time for some questions. That'll wrap up our 30 minutes. So here's what I told them. I said, guys, I'm going to tell you a lot about estate planning. We're going to go chronologically. I'm going to use a hypothetical example. I may even talk about some examples that may affect your credit union here. So I said, guys, here's the deal. Let's take a hypothetical couple. We'll call them John and Jane. And let's say they have 4 children, and let's say they have an estate worth $2 million. I told them it doesn't matter whether the estate is worth $200,000 or $20 million. We're going to use a nice round figure of $2 million because it's equal to do the math. I said the first thing that I'm going to do when John and Jane come into my office, or John and Jane do a Zoom call with me, is I'm going to find out what, if anything, is most important to them. Are they trying to make things easy for each other? Are they trying to avoid probate? Do they want to leave things to their 4 children a certain way? Are their children minors? So are there all of those issues? Do they want to designate certain people to handle financial healthcare decisions for them if they're not able to handle things for themselves? John and Jane, what do you want to make sure we accomplish? And sometimes people say, well, we have this particular issue. And quite frankly, I told the group today, I said, I've been doing this for 31 years. Been waiting to find the first normal family, haven't found one yet, because every family is unique and every family has their own unique circumstances that they want to address. So first thing I'm going to do with John and Jane, I'm going to find out if there's anything in particular that is really important to them that they want to accomplish. And then we'll make sure we address that throughout the process. But let's say John and Jane said, you know, Paul, we haven't done anything. We don't even have a will. We just want to make sure our legal affairs are in order and everything's set up right. So chronologically, I'd start with, okay, John and Jane, let's talk not necessarily about what happens when you pass away, but what happens if during the rest of your lifetime, you're unable to sign your name, sell your house, sell your car, deal with your accounts, go get your medical records, talk to your doctors. Let's talk about making it easy for the people that you'd want to be able to do all of those things for you. So John and Jane, if they're like most couples, they will name their spouse as the first person that they'll name on their, and for financial purposes, it could be called power of attorney, general power of attorney, durable power of attorney. They'll likely name each other as their first. Some people call it attorney in fact, some people call it agent. I'll call it agent. John and Jane, on their financial power of attorney, will name their spouse as their first named agent. And then I'll tell them, you know what? If when you're incapacitated, your spouse isn't available to do things for you, who would you want that backup person to be? And they might designate one or more of their children, their adult children, as that alternate agent on their financial power of attorney. Then we'd go into the healthcare matters. Who do you want to be able to talk to your doctors if at some point during your lifetime you can't talk to your doctors and get your medical records for yourself? They'll likely name their spouse first, and again, maybe an adult child or children to serve as the backup to the spouse. We'd probably have a conversation about the living will or statement about life support machines, because in America, you get the right to make your own medical decisions, and by signing a living will, most people look at that as they're relieving their loved ones from having to make that one difficult decision of removing life support if you're a vegetable with no chance of recovery. So when someone signs a living will, they'll sign a statement that says, if I'm in that, something to the effect that if I'm in that profound vegetative state, no chance of recovery, machines just artificially prolonging the dying process, I'm making my decision, directing my family and my doctors to honor my wishes, withhold or withdraw the life support machines, but provide me with enough medication to keep me comfortable. So that's the living will. We'd have that conversation. That gets them up to the what happens before you pass away. Now let's talk about when you pass away. Many married couples, they want to focus on what happens after both spouses pass away. I'd say, hold on. We first got to talk about what happens when one of you passes away. So I might say, you know what, John, you just told me you think you're going to die first. Most men do because you're a little older and you're a man. So let's talk about what happens, John, if you pass away first, but you know the same thing would happen, Jane, if you passed away first. You told me you had an estate of $2 million. Let's call that $1 million each. John, if you pass away, we know Jane's got her $1 million. What do you want to do with your $1 million? Got a couple of options there. One, you can leave what's called ownership.
70% of people age 65 and older will require some form of long-term care during their lifetime. Hi, everyone. Don Connolly here. You know me as someone who spent years coaching financial advisors on communication skills, storytelling, and building stronger client relationships. But today,
a couple of options there. One, you can leave what's called ownership of your $1 million to Jane. That way, Jane owns the whole $2 million. It may even be prearranged so that when Jane later dies, it goes to the children. That first option is really easy to understand. I call it ownership to spouse. If John dies, Jane owns the whole kit and caboodle. Some people perceive that as, that worries me, because if John leaves everything to Jane and Jane either intentionally or unintentionally signs something in her later years, she could exclude the children, and the children never get a dime. You know, Jane could leave things to her next spouse. She could be influenced by someone to sign something totally excluding the children. So while leaving ownership entirely to the spouse is an easy option to understand, I said, John, you've got a second option. Again, you have your $1 million, Jane has your $1 million. So John, the second option is when you pass away, Jane still has her $1 million. Your $1 million, John, goes into a trust. Maybe Jane could be the trustee, and maybe Jane would be entitled to take distributions from that trust. And then when Jane dies, whatever's left in that trust that you left, John, automatically reverts back to your children. Jane can't redirect that trust to other people. So that gives John, your children, some protection after you pass away to make sure that they're going to inherit your estate or what's left of it after Jane dies. They'll have that protection to inherit that trust after Jane dies, and then Jane can do whatever she wants to and leave her $1 million estate to whoever she wants to. So two options, John: leave ownership to spouse or leave your estate in trust for your spouse. And that second option provides the children with some protection. Now let's talk, John and Jane, about what happens after both of you pass away. Lots of different options there. So let's say John and Jane want to treat their children generally equally. So we'd have conversations like, John and Jane, let's say when both of you pass away, you have $2 million. Do you just want everything to go to the 4 children equally? So under that math, each child would get $500,000, and they can do whatever they want to with it. Some people are good with that. Some people, we take it a step further, because let's say John and Jane have their son Johnny. Johnny's been divorced a couple of times, and he's about to get remarried. And you know what? John and Jane don't really like Johnny's future wife. So I might say to John and Jane, you know what? Let's talk about making your children's inheritance divorce-proof, or more divorce-proof than just leaving it to them outright. John and Jane, how do you feel about leaving Johnny's inheritance, or maybe even all of your children's inheritance, but I'm picking on Johnny right now. How do you feel about leaving Johnny's inheritance to what I call the Johnny Inheritance Trust? And after both of you pass away, Johnny can even be the trustee of his inheritance trust. But by leaving Johnny's inheritance to the inheritance trust, it prevents Johnny from mixing up his inheritance with other assets that he may have with his spouse. So that if he later gets divorced, He keeps his trust. Johnny and his spouse divide the other assets that they've acquired. So by leaving things to what I call that children's inheritance trust, you're keeping things, making it divorce proof for your children. Some parents like that. Other options for parents when they leave things to children, some parents are a little reluctant to just leave a lump sum to their children. So we talk about different types of trust and trust distributions. If John and Jane had minor children, we'd probably talk about naming a trustee as a trust for those minor children. And I'd say, John and Jane, your children are 17, 14, 12, and 9. At what point would you want them to be able to control their inheritance? Jane, you said you wanted your sister Karen to be able to manage all of it for them, but at what point would you want the children to be able to handle it for themselves? Knowing that Karen can make distributions to or for those children after John and Jane, you pass away, but at what point would you want the children to say, give me my inheritance, I'm entitled to it? Would you want them to get it at, say, age 25, or would you want them to get it in stages at 25, 30, and 35? Would you want Karen to have the discretion to determine when your children are ready to receive their inheritance? Would you want them to get a monthly amount until their inheritance runs out? Lots of different options there. Okay, so after we talk, and they could, and if John and Jane were what I call a blended family, maybe John had 2 children, Jane had 2 children, and then they got married, probably makes that second option of when the first spouse dies, leaving things in trust, even more important, because if John leaves his estate entirely to Jane, Jane's likely to leave everything to her 2 children. So special issues there with blended families. Okay, the next thing I want in my discussion with the credit union employees, other issues that come up, I talked about, well, let's say John and Jane are 70 years old and maybe they've accumulated $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 of assets. There's a lot of people out there in that kind of range who are worried that if they go to a nursing home, they'll lose everything. So they have to get assets out of their name at least 5 years before they go into a nursing home in order to make themselves more Medicaid eligible. That's a separate kind of Medicaid eligibility planning issue. I talked to the credit union vice presidents about taxes and talked about how currently we have an estate tax exemption of a big number here, $12.06 million. And for married couples, they can really shield 2 times that, or $24 million from the 40% federal estate tax. Now, that number is scheduled to be cut in half in 2026, so we'll see what happens then. So and then they started asking me, can you tell me what the process is for working with your office to get all of this done? I say it starts typically with a Zoom call. So you would fill out an intake form. Maybe if you're watching this on a YouTube video, look in the description, you'll see a link. You fill out a form.
If you're looking to invest in the perfect property for you with a team that's...
Maybe if you're watching this on a YouTube video, look in the description, you'll see a link. You fill out a form, send that to us. We'll follow it up with an invitation to a calendar.
So that was my treat this morning. We talk about the air, we talk about the water, talk about the food, we talk about the microwave, we talk about earthing, walking barefooted, sometimes it helps. We talk about wellness, emotional wellness, mental wellness, and we also cover financial wellness. Get it right. If your mind is right, chances are everything will be right. So we want to take care of all those issues that bring on stress and worry, tension. Yeah, the biggest part of marital breakup and financial family breakup and struggles, it has to do with financial tension and turmoil. So we're here to fix all that. Yes, indeed. And that was for free, no charge. My treat. Wills, there's a difference between living wills and living trusts. We talk about all these things and more. You know, how to invest, how to save, how to budget. It takes the stress out of life, takes you away from the edge, that precipitous edge. Okay, so we have a few minutes left before we wrap it up. It's Freestyle Fridays, Freedom Friday. And by the way, in Atomy, we get paid on Friday. So if you're not getting paid, we are going to make sure that very soon, every Friday, we're getting paid. In the month of February, I don't have the date beside me. Somewhere, I think it's around the 25th of February, there's going to be an event in Fort Lauderdale, Success Academy. Anyone, you're in Florida, I don't care how far away you might be, you're going to make it. It's a Sunday afternoon in the house, okay? Because we need to be talking about masterships, and we are going to get down to business. We're going to do some masterships run. So for the month of February, we are wanting to make that happen. It's a new year. So again, get that checklist out. Get get yourselves acclimatized to the checklist, go through it, and be about moving forward, momentum in the most intentional way. That's what we're going to do. All right. Any last words this morning?
Yes, CJ.
Yes,
Thanks,
Nick.
Nick. Just to let you guys, the event in February is going to be on the 22nd of February in
Great.
Fort Lauderdale, the one-day seminar in English. It's
Yes.
going to be at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Plantation. Oh, that's right around the corner from me. So I'm going
That's
to
right.
definitely be there.
Lucky man.
Yeah, so
Great.
yep, it's got to be at 1701 North University Drive in
Yes.
Plantation, 33322. Okay? So look forward to seeing you guys out there. It's not too far from me, so you guys will definitely meet me on that date. All right, so
That's right.
guys, also I did share the GSMC yesterday in the
Yes.
WhatsApp groups. I really recommend and hope everybody save the appropriate link that they want to use. So that way you could attend the GSMC. There's no registration required for it. You just need to have your ID, your Atomy ID, and your password. It's going to be an 8-week course. Each week we're going to it's going to drop. The first episode starts this Sunday, and then the time for it to drop would be at 9 p.m. at night. You have the night of February 1st all the way through February 8th to watch that one episode. On
Okay.
February 8th, we're going to meet up on Sunday nights, starting on February 8th for the 8 weeks on Tony's Sunday call. Okay? We're going to have the GSMC at 8:45. Tony's going to do her regular call like she normally does, and then we will switch over to GSMC at 8:45 to 9:15. We're going to discuss episode 1. So those who want to attend do the training with the GSMC, please do go ahead and listen to episode 1 this Sunday or this whole week, whole of next week. And you have the opportunity to listen to it anytime after the first, and then we'll discuss it on the 8th of February, episode 1. At that time, episode 2 will drop on the 8th, and then you, like I said, you have a week again to watch episode 2. And then we're going to discuss it the following Sunday. All right? Of course, I encourage everybody to on this call to join me on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. I am going to be starting the in-depth training starting with the US website on Wednesday. So I recommend everybody join us for that. If you want any new members to learn the website, I recommend they get on that call on Wednesday. All right. Of course, guys, we know we have all those other calls. We have the ones on the one that we discussed on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everybody just have to check their coordinate time zone. And then we have the Monday night with Pastor Edwards, Florence, and myself on 8 p.m. EST on Monday nights. And then we do have Tuesday with Miss Angeline, a little bit of business overview and a little bit of product information being shared on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Wednesday again with my back office. And then on Thursdays, Compassionate Help with Pastor Edwards and the doctors. Okay? Guys, make sure you, and then that's it for all the meetings. We do have other meetings as well. The ones we have meetings in Creole, French, French and Spanish. Just keep an eye on your WhatsApp and Telegram groups for all the links. Please do reach out if you need links to those other meetings that I mentioned. Please do reach out to your upline, and they'll get you those copies of those other meetings if you have anyone that's interested in those other languages. Okay, so we just want to make it, you guys go out today. I'm not too sure if CJ wants to wrap it up, but if we do, we want to say go out there, make it a productive one. Make sure and share your Atomy business with everybody. I see that Miss Valerie has her hand up, so I'll go ahead and have her on mute and ask her question.
Yes, I just want to quickly share with the team, CJ, since that we're speaking about we're now going to get into financial literacy. Guys, I don't know how many of you guys saw the video regarding these scammers coming up with new scams, and people have lost not only $1,000 but thousands of dollars because of the scammers cloning the bank and reaching out to people. So, CJ, I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen? It's all over.
Yes, I'm. Yeah, that's another. This is something actually that we need to talk about.
Yes.
To alert the family.
Exactly.
How to know how to navigate the treacherous waters of this new AI emergence, the culture brings with it, the scamming, and so we just need to be ever so vigilant. Thank you, Valerie, for bringing that up. Yeah, we need to have a conversation about financial literacy and all the little nuances that surrounds it. So thanks, Valerie. That is a conversation that we really need to have.
Yes.
So we're gonna see if we can reserve a minute on Fridays, on the Freestyle Fridays, to do something. So we are all up to speed on what's going on. We're gonna be.
Yes, I'll share a video with you that you may want to share with the team regarding the precautions that we need to take. Because now the thing that bothered me more than anything else is that the banks refuse to pay. If you lost $50,000, $100 and some odd thousand dollars through these scammers, the bank is not going to pay you because they say you gave them permission to get into your account. And seriously, it's sad because the way they do it, it's just very sad. So they're taking advantage of the vulnerable, and people's accounts are wiped out. Now, CJ, I've actually had an experience in 2020 with these scammers, and thank God they didn't hurt me, but I had the experience, so I know exactly what these people are going through in terms of them, pretending to be chased. It's a long story, but I can share it when we do share about how to actually get to you. So yeah, please be careful.
We're losing you. We're losing you, Valerie. You're faded. You come a little closer to the microphone.
Yeah, no. Okay. No, I was just saying that I'll share that story when we can, as far as my experience, personal experience with these thieves. But so just please be careful. If don't open up any link from anybody, don't answer a text. If you suspect something, call the bank yourself. For now, that's it. Yeah.
Very good.
Thank
you. Powerful. Thanks for that, Valerie. So yes, we are going to ensure that as far as financial literacy goes, we're going to be on top of our game. Take care of our health, taking care of our wealth. Yeah, we are going to do well. In the words of Mr. Alvin Day this morning and the other presenter, let's speak properly the words we speak. We are winners. We are winners. Let's just unmute for a quick minute and let's all just declare it, say it, speak it. Yeah, with conviction. We are winners.
We are winners.
We are winners.
Let's do it.
We are winners.
We are winners.
We are winners.
And I'm going to add by saying, CJ,
we are winners.
We are winners. With high expectations.
We are winners.
Yes, I think we're going to need one more time. I'll count to three.
We are winners.
We are winners.
Let's do it this way. Let's all do it all synchronized. On my lead, on the count of three, we unmute and we all say with conviction. 1, 2, 3.
We are
winners. We are winners.
Here's a thought before, as we go. We take the hemo hymn or the noni, whatever it is. It might not yield the results that we are looking for right away. But as we continue taking the hemo hymn, gradually, the body goes through comes into homeostasis. And the pain goes away and the aches goes away and the eyesight gets better and the hearing gets better and the skin tone improves. Everything improves. It's the same thing with our language. By just saying
CJ, we lost you.
We lost you, CJ. And Nick.
Yeah, no, I'm here. Hey, CJ, you need to unmute.
How did that happen, Nick?
I don't know. So let me wrap it up. I was making the case that we take the hemo hymn and it might not instantly do its magic. But over time, week 1, week 2, week 3, it happens. The homeostasis happens. Same thing with our words. I am healed. I'm a winner. Whatever it is. The body will resist the first time, the second time, but as you keep reaffirming these things, family, guys, the word becomes flesh.
Absolutely.
Let's speak the word. The power is in the tongue. And let's promise ourselves, let's talk right. Let's think right. Let's speak right.
Amen.
And I leave you with that for the weekend. Stay well, stay fit, stay strong. Looking forward to another week next week, Momentum Morning, 9:45 pre-game, 10 o'clock showtime. Yes, make it happen. And for me and from Mr. Nick and from Valerie, and from Florence, and for all of us who are leading the charge, this crusade, we say, Aja,
Aja, Aja, Aja.
Good
Aja,
weekend.
Everybody.
Good
Aja,
weekend.
Aja,
Have a good
Aja.
weekend,
Stay
everyone. Thank
safe.
you.
Weekend.
Pleasant
Stay,
weekend.
stay.